As one of the latest miniseries that premiered on Amazon Prime, The English has garnered quite a lot of positive feedback, much to the delight of its creator. And for today's episode, we'll let you in regarding Hugo Blick's rule-breaking Western work, The English, plus get to know where the series was filmed. All this in today's video, so keep watching for more. The English creator Hugo Blick opens up about himself and his newest creation in a recent interview with The Guardian. The 57-year-old writer, director, and actor Hugo Blick disclosed that many had suggested that he needed a calming presence. Blick learned how to hunt and shoot from the Air Force captain. He also learned how to spin a horse. Montana was still a wilder west than any place along the M4 route even in the late 1980s. According to Blick, it's not unusual for winters to drop below negative 60 degrees Fahrenheit, and life there can be challenging. According to him, the area was still haunted by the ghosts of the harsh frontier of the 1890s. The English, a stunning and intriguingly subversive 6-part TV western that Blick wrote and directed and starred Emily Blunt as an English aristocrat who was uprooted and anxious in the Wild West, and Chaske Spencer as a majestic, soulful, physically wounded Native American, benefited from Blick's skills and experiences after half a lifetime. Blunt and Spencer both portray characters whose paths inevitably meet while on their individual quests for vengeance. She has traveled from London to find the person responsible for her son's death. He has his own demons to exorcise, not just the barbaric advance of European civilization that has driven him and other Native Americans from their ancestral lands. He is a soul torn between serving as a U.S. cavalry scout and his Pawnee ancestry, but there was also a specific white devil, Rafe Spall's evil Cockney character, who Spencer saw killing people along a corrupt group of U.S. Army lackeys. Blick initially positioned himself in a supporting role. It felt like a sensible choice. After all, acting was his first profession. Among other things, he played the teenage Jack Napier, who famously kills Bruce Wayne's parents in Tim Burton's 1989 Batman Before, remarking, "Have you ever danced with the devil by the pale moonlight?" Additionally, Blick is a confident horse rider, but after learning he would have to pay £50,000 insurance premium, he turned down the position. The English is a revenge-based chase drama similar to classic westerns like John Ford's 1956 The Searchers or Clint Eastwood's 1992 Unforgiven, but it adds more innovations to the genre than a horse-bound lasso. Blick gives us a gun-toting English rose of a heroine with Katniss Everdeen-style archery skills who battles 19th century misogyny, embracingly 21st century ways rather than alpha white male vigilantes. The other protagonist is a Native American hero in a western who is not just played by a Native American, which makes it much more submersive. This is by no means a small problem. The so-called revisionist western gave Native Americans identities and personalities, since the original westerns depicted them as barely individual hordes whose historical fate, like that of the buffalo, was to be hunted to extinction. However, the likelihood that a person of color would play a Native American protagonist decreased as their importance increased. Because of the main characters of the English are a woman and a man of color, it is a subversive version of the revisionist western. Spencer portrays a hero in the Eastwood mold, but his existential struggle is made clear by the fact that he has two names, one from his time as a Pawnee, Wounded Wolf, and one from his time in the Army, Sergeant Eli Whip. This character was based on another incident Blick had had as a teenager in Montana. He recalled how, when he was younger, Blick had made a hunting companion named Chief, who resided on a reservation but was not a chief. Therefore, there was a subsex of racism in their interaction, and Chief referred to him as English. Then, one day, Chief vanished and left 2 bags that he had promised to come back for. Blick claimed that Chief never returned, and that neither he nor Blick ever learned the real name of each other. Additionally, he added that Chief didn't require anything from those bags, which gave him the seed of the concept for the English. The Pawnee were semi-migratory people, Blick explains, so they would be used to packing their homes up and riding off. I've always felt sympathetic to that idea that home is what you carry, not a place. The Pawnee and Cheyenne nations representatives were provided a first draft of the director's script, and in return, they made a single request from him: don't let him pass away, since the Indians inevitably die before the film's conclusion in westerns. Blick made his name as a TV writer with the 2000 comedy Marion and Jeff, in which the hero, divorced cabbie Keith, played by Rob Brydon, yearned to go home. Since then, Blick has developed into a unique TV writer who every few years releases a smart series that subverts a dramatic genre, frequently perplexing critics in the process. We had no idea what was going on in his 7-part BBC police drama, The Shadow Line from 2011, which starred Chiwetel Ejiofor and Christopher Eccleston. He created the award-winning spy thriller, The Honourable Woman, for the BBC in 2014. Maggie Gyllenhaal played Lady Cornelia, an Anglo-Jewish woman who was uprooted from her cozy London house and faced the weight of history, this time in the form of the Arab-Israeli conflict. In the 2017 film Black Earth Rising, Michaela Cole played British lawyer with Rwandan ancestry who became involved in the prosecution of a Rwandan militia leader for war crimes. Her white adoptive mother is the prosecutor. Why then are there so many compelling female protagonists in his work, you ask? Blick claimed that a psychotherapist was the only person who could truly understand that. The celebrated director then admitted that he has always felt more at ease around women. At school, he preferred to hang out with girls, and when he played football, he always shook the hands of his opponents after they scored goals. Blick claims that he has always opposed masculinist posture. Blick explores popular issues such as misogyny, misconception, and the English class system, racism, and destructiveness of capitalism and imperialism. But most importantly, the Freudian return of the repressed, using Western metaphors. Regarding the last point, it's amazing to see how a brand new frontier town is being constructed over the corpses of the murdered, whose bloodshed fuels the drama. With its switchback narrative intricacy, The English is a typical Blick drama. He describes the revenge format as propulsive, forward-looking. What I want to do is trace that time's arrow, but also go back to find out what motivates the desire for revenge. Compared to other things Blick has done, The English is more enjoyable. One of the most aesthetically lavish dramas you will watch this year was made by cinematographer Arnal Valls-Colomer and director of photography Blick, and it was shot in majestic Spanish rock formations rather than the American West. He reveals that they always shoot in the late afternoon to make use of the golden hour's slanting light, a technique he's picked up from Clint Eastwood. Moving forward, let's talk about the filming location of The English. He saw how gorgeous the scenery is, so where exactly did they shoot this? The 6 episodes of this show were really filmed in Spain, even though the action takes place in 1890 in Kansas and Wyoming when Lady Cornelia Luck and Eli Whip travel north to Nebraska. Hugo Blick, the director, clarified that Sergio Leone and Clint Eastwood didn't go to exactly the same spots, but it is a location that Western directors have famously used. Because I knew firsthand the locations we needed to replicate, I was already aware that Almeria would not work for this Kansas/Wyoming set story, Blick explained. Luckily, our location scout took us to a huge beef farm in Alvila outside of Madrid. With the grasses, rock formations, and horizontal light, it provided a perfect mystic space for this western. So why did the director choose Spain of all places? A more pressing rationale was given for keeping the production in Europe, in addition to Spain's lengthy history for serving as a convincing substitute for the American West in movies. The director went on to say that while the real 30-year-old span of the classic cowboy was only a myth for the subsequent 130 years, the Chisholm Trail itself had as much to do with it as did our televisions and movies. The Western is a living, moving thing in our minds. Additionally, it appears that Spain was a dream site for much of the cast. The journey they take begins in Kansas, where it is flat and dusty, and it continues through Wyoming, where there are rocky, stunning formations, according to Emily Blunt, who also serves as executive producer. She claimed that because of this, they needed different landscapes because the area is so vast. All are available in Spain. The sun would be sinking, and with all the horses and carts and everything, it would throw up the dust and would give the scene an eerie, lovely, bewitching appearance, she continued. With that, we're wrapping up today's video about Hugo Blick's The English. Have you seen the series yet? Tell us what you think about it in the comments section below. Thanks for watching today's video, and before you go, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel with the notification bell on for more videos like these. See you next time!